Friday morning, February 2nd, 2024. Best baseball player of the year, 1996, Mark McGwire. Not in the Hall of Fame. He won 3 categories, 1996. Home runs, 52. Slugging, 730. On base, 467. 3 categories. Alex Rodriguez had the batting title. Lance Johnson, the hits and triples. Rodriguez, doubles. Molitor, singles. Andres Galarraga, runs batted in. Runs scored, Ellis Burks. Barry Bonds had the walks. Kenny Lofton, the stolen bases, and Ellis Burks, total bases. So those are all the other guys who won in all the other categories, but nobody had more than 3. Alex Burks, a couple. Alex Rodriguez had a couple. That's about it. So 1996, I'm giving it to Mark McGwire. Let's look at his year. 130 games. So he missed 32 games. But he still hit 52 home runs. He was on pace for 60. If he plays those 32 games, right? In 32 games, you think he could have hit 8 homers? Maybe. 132 hits. Not very good. The whole year, 130 games, 132 hits. About a hit a game. 113 RBIs, 104 runs scored. That's good. But here, look at this. 312 batting average. I like that. That's good. Slugging, 730. Mark McGwire is an interesting guy. Played 16 years. He stopped playing at 37. When he finished his 2001 season, 1,874 games, he hit 583 homers. That's an incredible pace. Give him, let's say, 2,500 games. So that'd be about 700 more games. How many more home runs would he have hit? Let's say 7 years, 30 homers each year. That's 210. 583 and 210 would be the 700 home run club. He was on that pace. 16 years. We know the story. He came into the league as a 22-year-old, 1986, hit 3 homers. But the following year, 1987, plays 150 games. He hits 49 home runs. 23 years old, 49 homers. So he's a slugger. Then he hits 32, 33, 39, 22. That was an interesting year. 1991, he hit 22 homers, but he played 150 games. What happened? 154 games, 22 homers. Strange. And then another year, he plays 130 games and hits 52. How does that happen? Then he went up to 42 homers. Then he was hurt a little bit, 9 homers. Played a small amount of games. Picked it up, 39 homers. Then in 1996, he's the best baseball player because he hits 52 of them. The following year, 1997, he hits 58. Power, slugger. Then in 1998, he hits 70. I watched it on TV, and we're all marvel, but you know what I noticed? It's a really big guy. Did you notice the arms? You know how big he was? He looked like Hercules. And when he hit the ball out of the park, it was 500 feet. Then in 1999, he hit 65 more. So in 2 years, 135 homers. Then he hit 32, and then he finishes his career at 29. Now, there's the allegation steroid use or cream or something. Did that help him hit the homers? Well, apparently the baseball writers in the Baseball Hall of Fame think so. And a lot of the public think so. They think the steroids or the enhancements, performance enhancing, cream or drugs or whatever, helped him hit the homers. It's hard to determine. Did that bulk him up to the point where he was so powerful that when the pitch came down the plate, he just swung the bat and out, the ball went out of the yard? Whereas if he didn't have any creams or enhancing drugs, could he have still hit the homers? Well, in 1987, he hit 49. Was he using back then? We don't know. Probably not. But in 1998, he hit 70. And he did it in 155 games. Here's the question I have, Mark McGwire. Why are you not in the Baseball Hall of Fame? Did you know that 583 homers in 1,874 games? That's one of the best ratios of homers ratio of games played. I think he's number 1 or 2. You got Babe Ruth up there and Barry Bonds up there as far as ratio of homers per games played. I believe Mark McGwire may be number 1. Like a homer every 12 at-bats, something like that. I think Ruth, a homer every 11 or 12, and Barry Bonds, same thing. But I think if you did the math, I think Mark McGwire is in the top 5 as far as home runs per at-bats. Once every 10 or 11 or 12 at-bats, right in there. 583 homers in 6,187 at-bats. Should I do the math? Let's see. I've got a calculator here. How would we do it? You take the 6187 and divide it by 0.583. Once every 11 at-bats. Mark McGwire. Is that incredible? Let's look at the Babe. I'll just put Babe Ruth in here. I'll look and see how many at-bats he had. All right, so he's got 83.99 at-bats divided by, we know the number, 714. Once every 11 at-bats. But as far as the decimal points, it could be a Ruth or McGwire, the best ratio of all time. We'll do one more guy, Barry Bonds, because he has 762. Barry Bonds. All right, we'll look at his at-bats. 9,847 divided by the 762. Yeah, he's about once every 13. So McGwire and Ruth are either 1 and 2 as far as decimal. One other guy would be Henry Aaron, but we already know that. He had 755 homers, but he had over 10,000 at-bats. So you see, I'm looking at McGwire here. See, Ruth had 714, so he has more than McGwire, but he has more at-bats, 8,399. McGwire, 583, so that's less homers than Ruth, but he has less at-bats, 6,387. Ruth had 2,000 more at-bats. Give McGwire 2,000 more at-bats to have the same number of at-bats as Babe Ruth. Does he match 714 homers? Does he fall short or does he go over? I think these two guys have the best ratio of home runs per at-bats. 1 homer every 10, 11, or 12 at-bats. How about that? And Mark McGwire. And he's not in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Would I put him in? Yes, he had the power. He was a slugger. The only thing I don't like about some of the numbers from McGwire, 263 career batting average. See, Ruth, 342 career batting average. And Bonds, 298 career batting average. McGwire, 263. Why? Well, he's a big guy. I think that's one of the reasons. McGwire is 6'5". Ruth, what was Ruth? Let's look at Ruth. Yeah, Ruth was 6'2". So McGwire's taller. Ruth, 215 pounds. McGwire, 215 pounds, but he's taller. Did you know McGwire, 6'5", has 12 career stolen bases? Do you know how much Ruth, how many stolen bases? He's 6'2", 123. McGwire is not fast. He's not a fast runner. I think that's one of the reasons why he has a 263 career batting average. Did not beat out the infield singles where Ruth did. Ruth was faster even though he's 6'2", 215. McGwire 6'5", 215. Who would you take? Would you take Mark McGwire or Babe Ruth? I would take Babe Ruth because of the batting average, the homers, more RBIs. McGwire's, let's see, he had 1,400 RBIs, but remember, he's only got 1,874 games. Ruth has about 2,500 games. Would McGwire be over 2,000 RBIs if he has 700 more games? Possibly. Possible. But I look at the batting average, 342 for Ruth, 263 for McGwire. One thing I'll point out, I said I would vote for Mark McGwire in the Hall of Fame. Why? The ratio of homers per at bat. That's what gets me. Now, I'm a batting average guy. I like career batting averages, and the 263 bothers me. But that ratio of homers per at bat, 583 homers and 6,187 at bats, and he has 1,400 RBIs. That's very good. 1,100 runs batted in. No, runs scored. He has 3,600 total bases. I don't know, 583 homers. That really does it. That's pretty impressive for McGwire. Did the performance-enhancing supplements help his home run totals? That is the question for history books. But I would put Mark McGwire in the Baseball Hall of Fame. All right, we have covered 1996. Our goal is to go to 2023. So the next video will be 1997. Stay tuned. I'm out.